Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cinema Savvy. My name is Tate, and today I'm back again on my own, reviewing another film from the London Film Festival. This film is Little Monsters. I believe this is a directorial debut by Abe Forsyth. He has done one other film before, but I think he only wrote on that film. So I believe this is his first film, which he's actually doing. This is Little Monsters. This is a horror comedy about a washed-up musician who teams up with a teacher and a kids show personality to protect young children from a sudden outbreak of zombies. This film I was very lucky to actually go and get to see. It was one of the films which we put down on this list. We were given the choice to attend some of the films that were only screening for normal people. This film was one of them. I put myself down on this list, and they came back to me, with 2 tickets. The 2 tickets were for The Lighthouse and for Little Monsters. So I was really lucky to go and see this. There was no press screening at all for this, which is why George was not able to go and get to see it. This is a hilarious film, just straight off the bat. This film is so funny. And I know there's been 2 kind of horror comedy zombie films this year. You've got Zombieland Double Tap, and then you've got this film, Little Monsters, and it's come around to Halloween. So this is really the time for this film to be released. I believe it releases on November 15th, which I think might have missed a trick there, if that's the case, because it won't get that kind of crowd coming in for Halloween. It is a hilarious film. The film centers around the main character, Lupita Nyong'o, who plays Miss Caroline. You've also got Josh Gad as a supporting and Alexander England as Dave, who is one of the teacher helpers who comes in. Dave, as a character, is very interesting. You get to kind of immediately immerse yourself in with him from the start. He is a washed-up bum, proper Aussie. He's got that kind of like almost stoner-ish kind of feel to him. And his kind of role in the film is that he is the emotional support for one of the kids in the film, and he's been asked to look after him. I believe he's his, I think he's the uncle or something like that, to this little kid. And he's been brought onto the school trip just to try and basically sleep with teachers, Miss Caroline, Lupita. And the dynamics between the 2 main characters are goddamn hilarious. One minute you've got him kind of acting out as a stoner, being very jealous of the other kids because they're getting the attention from the teacher and everything like that. It becomes like just a comedy, not based around the fact that they're in a zombie outbreak, but just around the character interactions of the people involved. It is one of those very, very interesting ones where they do focus in on the characters and kind of set aside the zombie outbreak, and the zombie outbreak is almost like the backlot. It's the ever-present threat that's there, but that isn't where the comedy kind of generates from. The funniest character by far, by the way, is Josh Gad. Like, I'm not the biggest Josh Gad fan, I'll be honest. But saying that, in this film, he is absolutely hilarious. And with a film where there is such young kids who are, I want to say, meant to be 5-6 years old, like kindergarten level, maybe a little bit older, not really knowing much about the world and everything like that, Josh Gad just goes straight off with the F-bombs. Like, he is swearing at the kids and everything like that. He's meant to be this kid's personality, think the Wiggles or something like that. And he's meant to be kind of, at the start of the film, he's all like, "Hey there, kids," and everything like that, and is really kind of playing up as like this kid's personality. By the end of the film, you find out he's an alcoholic who is drug obsessed and obsessed with sleeping with the kids' mums, which adds to another level of the comedy. We actually have a comment here from a JX editor. How little are the monsters? The monsters themselves in the film are fully sized zombies ranging in different ages. So we've got zombies who are other school kids on a different school trip. You've got tourists, you've got normal adults, you've got military people, military personnel, because the zombie outbreak actually takes place in like the local like military base, and they're going on a school trip to a farm next door in the Australian outback somewhere. So the monsters are normal sized, but the threat they pose is a hilarious one. In the sense that they are slow zombies. They are zombies that are quite dumb, not very intelligent, will walk into things, will run into things, and everything like that, which adds to that kind of comedy element in the sense of that. There's even a scene from the trailer where a zombie is eating a porcupine, which is hilarious with all the spikes coming out of the mouth. It's not a film that's highly I would highly rate on the special effects or anything like that. It's not something that I would highly rate on even the kind of makeup and costume and everything like that. It is just all about the writing and the comedy. And I will say everyone was laughing all the way throughout this entire film. There wasn't really a horror moment that stood out for me that was overly like scary or anything like that. There was a bit of gore, as you know. The one problem I can see with this film is not really knowing its target market. It does have the kids, and it does have that element of like the small kids playing small kids, basically like asking the teacher questions, not really knowing what's happening. The teacher kind of has to explain, oh, it's like a massive game of tag. We just have to avoid being tagged by those people, and those people being the zombies. This film then immediately turns on its head and just drops off like F-bombs, has the violence, has the blood and the gore and everything like that. So I don't think it's a film for the kind of teenagers because it's got that young child element or anything like that. And I don't think it's a film just for our hours. This is a film for parents mainly, I would say. This is an absolutely like film not to watch with your kids, like parents to go and have a giggle about if they've already had kids themselves. Because you have those kind of inquisitive questions, which at the same time are matched with the kind of absurdity of all of the kind of zombies running around and creating gore and everything like that. This film in itself, I rated it actually quite highly in the festival. It was nice to see a comedy, because there wasn't really many comedies at the festival that we were able to get to see. It was a lot of drama films, a lot of films that were pitching for the Oscars. This isn't a film that will be pitching for Oscars. This is just a great kind of family comedy type thing, but it's not a family comedy. It's a film which it just gets funnier and funnier as you go along. It gets to the end where it's settled down. It goes back to kind of like a romance type plot, as I said earlier. But this film in itself, I would rate actually quite highly and would suggest you go and see, especially if it is around the Halloween season. I think people would actually enjoy it quite well. Well, anyway, I believe I've talked everything as I can about the movie itself without spoiling anything major or anything like that. Please follow us on various different social medias. So that is on Instagram at cinema_savvy. That is exactly the same on Twitter at cinema_savvy again. And follow us on Facebook. That is just type in Cinema Savvy and you'll be able to find us. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.